Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring.
The very first thing I do when I rise in the morning is say, thank you, Lord. My feet do not touch the ground. As a matter of fact, I haven't even raised my head off of the pillow before I say the words, thank you. Thank you for placing me on the wake up list. Thank you for protecting me through the night. Thank you for protecting my loved ones. Thank you for the blessings and the lessons of yesterday. Thank you for the blessings and the lessons that await for me today. Thank you for the opportunity to do what I love with who I love. Thank you for your mercy and grace. I close by thanking God for great health in abundance, for peace of mind in abundance, for his love in abundance, for his abundant blessing on my life and the life of my loved ones. Welcome to Chasing Purpose, heard right here on the Bridge 99 FM in Jamaica and in the New York tri-state area on Irie Jam Radio. I hope you have your pens and your journals out. We have an amazing show planned for you tonight. Chasing Purpose is a space where we honor our 4 pillars: nurturing faith, pursuing aspirations, setting intentions, all while living boldly. This is a journey of self-development, self-love, healing, and spirituality. And our aim each and every week is to empower, inspire, and uplift you with our thought-provoking conversations. As we celebrate Thanksgiving Day today, let me say happy Thanksgiving to everybody that is celebrating. We want to zoom in on service and what service means to us. Not only service, but adding value to people's lives. Tonight, our candid conversation is with someone whom I believe understands what service and adding value to persons' lives is about. Joining us tonight is Miss Sabrina Webster of the Porridge Shop. Sabrina. Sabrina.
Hi.
How are you? Welcome to Chasing Purpose.
I am good. Thank you for having me, Sin.
Thank you for joining us. I first heard about Sabrina on Untangled here on the Bridge, and she was talking about porridge for purpose, which we'll get into a little bit later. But the Porridge Shop definitely was an answer to my prayers. And Sabrina, I'll have Sabrina tell us about the Porridge Shop a little bit later. But Sabrina, today in some parts of the world, Thanksgiving Day is being celebrated. Let me ask you, what are you thankful for?
Well, the first thing my family, Sin, my support network, they're core to who I am, and definitely, are there to help me continue to grow. So I am truly and unapologetically thankful for my family.
That word unapologetically is something that we should be using more, especially as we are, on our purpose journey. But the need to cower behind certain things. I don't understand. I'm unapologetic. You are unapologetically thankful for your family. There's nothing wrong with that.
There we go.
Nothing wrong with that.
At all.
I love that. So as we talk about Thanksgiving and giving thanks, and you say you're thankful for your family, as am I, and happy Thanksgiving to all of my family who are celebrating today. The word service also comes up. Service, being of service, I think is something that you know something about, and we'll get into what that means. But what does service mean to you, and what does adding value mean to you?
Being of service, for me, it's intentionally being there for somebody, being what they need once it is that it doesn't harm you or harm your loved ones. It's ensuring that you give and not necessarily expecting anything in return. That's what being of service is to me.
The action of giving of yourself and not expecting something in return, that is very, very important on this journey of purpose. Last week we talked about hope in a world today where we're kind of still navigating through COVID, and again, we're celebrating Thanksgiving, and what that means is being grateful and having gratitude. As it pertains to hope and having hope, what are you having hope for? What are you hopeful for? Not just for personally and just in worldly.
Well, I would have to say I hope for more persons to take on compassion, to act in compassion. Yes. Because if it is that we have compassion, that has a ripple effect. You know, it helps to eliminate so many things that we're fighting with today. You know, for example, gender-based violence. Today is actually the internationally celebrated day for the elimination of violence against women.
I did not know that.
It was started by Freetown in Trinidad, and they're asking that you wear orange, so it's the appropriate color. I should have had on my orange today, but
I'm not just a pumpkin latte.
no. So if it is that person's acted with compassion, then a lot of the arguments, the trivial arguments that we have, the violence that's caused from that, the anger that we walk around with, we would really, really let it go. And that's the one thing that's been my 37th year mantra, which is united in compassion. And so I challenge my friends, my circle, my family to just act in compassion. Right? So think about the person that you're talking to, the person that you're going through whatever situation with, and think of how they are experiencing it. Yeah. Just as how you know how you're experiencing it, you think how they're going through it, and that will enable you to better respond.
You touched on something, compassion. I believe that this is something that our society is lacking. If we were more compassionate and thoughtful of what the other person may be going through, we would be in a better place. As we give thanks today, guys, you know, it is important that we not just be thoughtful and thankful of what we have in our life, but be compassionate to others. Be kind to people. You never know what someone is going through. You know, as Sabrina is sitting here before me, I'm not sure entirely what baggage she may have brought in with her, or she doesn't know what baggage I may have. But it is the compassion that we would have or should have for one another that will help to ease whatever our burdens are. So let us be compassionate. Sabrina, on your purpose journey, you're a marketer. Your profession is a marketer, but you're also an entrepreneur, right? Yes. On your journey of purpose, just looking back, do you believe that where you are right now, that life gave you gems along the way, or gave you cues that you would be where you are today?
Most definitely. I can remember my first role in marketing. I remember working with that company. Loved the experience. It's invaluable, but the space was not for me. I remember going to work, feeling so burdened, in tears, you know, and so that pushed me to be like, no, this is not you. You know, you're not able to do what it is that you want to do, how you should be, you know. And that was a major cue for me when I decided to leave. Of course, there was fear. There was, what if, you know, maybe it won't work out, and you know, oh my God, this is the space to be. That's that's what everybody thinks in terms of a job. You know, do you really want to leave here? And it really was. It took me a while to decide, and I got up and I left. After leaving, I started entrepreneurship. That was my first stint at being an entrepreneur. Started my own marketing, you know, consultation agency, and did some work in that. And what that allowed me to do was to then develop my philanthropic side. So I started an event called Wind Down for Charity. Hosted that a few times with beneficiaries such as BASE Foundation, as well as the Jamaica Down Syndrome Foundation. And that is where it hit me, because the funny thing is, my first role, how I got into marketing was through doing some charitable events, and they were like, hey, do you want to come and try out in marketing? And I was like, okay, sure. So when I got into entrepreneurship and got into doing that give back aspect, that's where I found that, you know, when you're doing the work, you don't even feel tired. You're like, just keep going and going, and you're doing it, and you're so energized. And then my family is always getting so involved. When I do my events, you know, I have great cooks in my family. And then you have those who are good with numbers. So, you know, you have persons who are like, listen, I handle the number side, I will handle the food, I will make sure that everything is set for this side. So doing it, it's so easy to pull together. and because you love it, it just works out. So yes, I do believe that on my journey there were cues.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there were things that made me say, no man, okay. And then when you step aside, you realize, oh no, you're going in the wrong way. Nope, this is way too hard. So that must not be for me. So you just step to that side and you're like, oh my God, it's easy again. Look at that.
Yeah.
So that, yes, I agree.
Life would have given you
Life
give you cues.
has given me cues.
You know, and that what your answer again amplifies service. That
Yes.
you are someone of service, and that adding value to persons is something that you were supposed to be doing. That's what your purpose. That's what your purpose is. Giving back. The philanthropy is something that I am also too very, very, very big on. Hence why I started the Eye Butterfly Foundation. And just really quickly,
Nice.
as we talk about the Eye Butterfly Foundation, we are in the middle of our toy drive, Make a Child Smile This Christmas. By all means, please donate one unwrapped gift. If you are in the New York tri-state area, donate one unwrapped gift to our toy drive, as we are going to be having a Christmas treat December 18th at 24 Hour Fitness in Valley Stream, New York. This is for my New York tri-state area listeners. Talk to me. Let's talk about Lima. You've been through traumas. Are these traumas that you've healed from as yet?
Boy, I would love to say yes. It's trauma that I'm healing from. So it's a process for me. And the truth is, you know, I talk about responding in love and kindness, and it's not something that's always been my way.
Yeah.
It's more recent, to be honest. Maybe last September I had a culmination of things happening, and I was just like, no, this cannot be it. This cannot be life. This cannot, you know. And what it forced me to do was to just stop, you know, just pause, take a break, process things like holistically. I had to look at my mental health. I had to look at my physical health. I had to process recent things that happened to me, you know, such as, I mean, one thing that I can mention, my best friend passed 2 years ago. And last year when I had this breakdown, like it was a severe, it really wasn't, for me, I didn't think it was a mental breakdown. I was ill. Well, at first I was frustrated and I decided to take a break. I left the island. I went in the middle of COVID. I went to New York and I decided I needed to take a break. While there, I started to feel ill. Had to be going to the doctor. They couldn't figure out what it was. And that's when we started to realize that it was more mental than anything else. And so I had to force myself to just sit. And coming up on the anniversary of her death, it was the very first anniversary. So it was like, how do I deal with this? I don't know if I had properly healed or even processed that she had passed. But I had to face a lot of things. Work. So, you know, career-wise, where was I? Where am I going? Am I where I want to be? Am I where I'm supposed to be? And then look at my physical health. You know, how am I taking care of myself? Because being a marketer, it's like 25/8. It's not 24/7.
Yeah, it's always on.
Your brain is never off.
Yeah.
You're sleeping and you jump up, and what I tend to do is I keep a book by my bed and you jump up and you write notes because some of these creative ideas will just come to you while you're sleeping. And I mean, people are so tired of me. Every day at work, they're like, here we go again. Last night when I was sleeping, you know, this came to me. But your brain is never off. And so even with eating, am I eating right? Am I ensuring that I have the, you know, proper nutrients, etc.? So all of that, I had to, you know, even relationships, am I where I want to be? And when I say relationships, I don't mean like man and woman.
Right.
It's relationships, it's friendships, it's
family.
It's a family.
Yeah.
Because there are some people that are just not right for you. And regardless of the length of time that you have given to whether the friendship, the relationship, the family member, sometimes it's best to love from afar.
Yes, very
Um,
important.
And yeah, and
For
so
your health.
exactly. And so I had to analyze and reevaluate a lot of those things, and sometimes it doesn't mean to break up the friendship or the relationship. What it means is that you set boundaries.
Yeah.
You state what it is that you want, where you want to go, and you find out from them, are you heading in that same
In the same
place?
direction, right, right.
Yeah. How can you now work with me
Yeah.
to head in
Yeah, yeah.
that same direction?
And if they can't, it's
And
okay
it's okay.
It's okay.
Exactly
to let
what
them
it
go.
is.
It's okay.
It is perfectly
okay.
fine. And that is what I went through over a 4-month period. I had to process all of that and decide, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? And I think that's when I was like, okay.
That's when you got
Yeah,
that light bulb moment.
love. Let's work in love.
Yeah.
Let's be kind.
Yeah.
Let's just live compassionately. Let's do that. And that's what happened for me. Yeah.
Let's live in love. So very important, a major gem, especially in this season. I believe that within us, greatness lies. Within us, no matter whether we are the security guard, whether we are the CEO, whether we are the famous football player, whether we are the watchmaker, there is greatness within. Are you of that belief?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We all have Christ in us. I mean, we all
Yes.
have God in us.
Jesus,
And
yes.
we all have a purpose in life, as we're discussing here. It's just whether or not you're chasing your purpose.
Yeah.
And once you do that, once you go for it, then you will achieve greatness.
Yes, without a doubt.
And greatness is not the world's definition of success, where you're driving this
Yes.
particular car
Yes.
or you have this house or such. Because I definitely don't believe in that. I don't believe you need to be at the party buying the biggest bottles or whatever.
Yeah, or dashing the money or washing. Look at this.
Like, it's craziness.
Yeah.
What greatness is when you decide to elevate everyone around you. It's when you lift them up, and when I say lift them up, I don't mean physically or just try
pouring
to
into
make
them.
jokes and make them happy.
Yeah.
It's pouring into them.
and nurturing.
You're ensuring that
major
you
gem.
are you're ensuring that you are reminding them of their
Greatness. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you're doing that, you will tend to find where you're supposed to be. You will find that you go beyond just being a person and just living. You know, people are just, they're just there. We're just existing, as a matter of fact. They're not living.
Right.
So once we
Autopilot, I
start
call
to give, once we start to pour into others, we will find that our greatness will manifest itself.
Yes, I mean, there is so much gems within that, guys. I certainly hope that you are journaling. We cannot become everything we are meant to be without leaving behind who we once were. What are your thoughts on this?
Of course, there are exceptions. There are some persons who are just naturally compassionate. Naturally, from birth, they're living in their purpose and on their journey. And so, there are exceptions. However, for the greater number of us, I do believe, I agree, that you have to leave behind that negativity that society instills in us. You know, there's a lot of narrative on the outside that, you are forced to take in, and, sometimes you put on this face, we all walk around with a face, a mask that is not us. It's not the real us, and oftentimes we don't show people the real us. Yeah. So the one thing I challenge people to, in addition to being compassionate, is to try to be true to your authentic self.
Yes.
It's to try as best as possible to not put on a show, because a lot of times what we'll find is that the real us is what people will appreciate a
More.
lot more.
Yes. It is so much easier to be yourself. I think people need to recognize that society would dictate, as you would know as a marketer, they have told us what to do. You have to be a size 0 in order to fit into this. You have to eat this certain, you're on this diet in order to look like this. So those things are things that have been drilled into our head. We believe these things, and that we've now adopted what society wants to stuff down our throat, dictates. So if we would just release those things, and just kind of be who we are. I try to show up as Cintashay, the loud, the boisterous, the over the top. That is just me. I'm also caring. I'm also, but exactly. Am I guilty of sometimes putting on? Of course I am. We all are. But if we would all just be our genuine, authentic self, whether you think it's negative or positive, I promise you would be accepted more. As we talk about, beliefs and what society places on us, what is one limiting belief that you was placed on you that you would love to recreate or have retaught then or released?
One big one, if I may add, would be diminishing yourself.
That's
something that I struggled with. I say it all the time that I'll be like, I prefer to be in the background. Let's just, I'll work behind the scenes. I hate interviews, by the way.
You're doing an awesome job, though. So much people are going to be filled by your story.
But diminishing yourself.
Let's not do that.
Let's not listen to people when they try to diminish you. Be just who you are. Be loud. As you said, you are a sin.
Sabrina, how are you nurturing your faith, which is a big part of the purpose journey?
It is the biggest and the hardest part.
It is. Right? Thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you for acknowledging that, because it is a struggle.
Trust me, living, and especially when you're living with compassion, people will forever waver your faith. They'll test you continuously. But then that just builds for a great testimony, so that's fine.
True.
That's fine. But how I nurture my faith is, firstly, when I start my day, I have to have my time of meditation and prayer and, reading the word. So I do nothing before that each morning. I ensure I do that. I sit, I take the time. If I have to wake up extra early, then so be it, and I do that. The second thing is ensuring that I have a circle of like-minded people.
Yes, very important on a journey. Yes, very important.
Because what's important is that you have the support system. It's ensuring that you have the right people in the right places to support your journey, to push you to be that much more. Because without my circle, I don't know where I would be today. I've gone through many seasons, as I've told you. Season of doubt, depression even. Been through quite a few traumatic experiences, and it's the people.
The person.
So it's the same people. You have people that test your faith, but then you have those who instill it and reinforce it. And it goes back to, my cornerstone will always be my family. They are my strength.
Wow.
When I think I can't do something, especially my mother.
They're there to push you.
Janet,
hey,
more big up yourself. But no, she from I was young, I've always had this confidence issue, don't want to be front and center. And I'd always second guess myself. And she would always say to me, whenever you try to do anything, you will always have that little hiccup or a little glitch, but you overcome it. So why do you keep,
press on?
Why do you keep second guessing yourself? Keep going, man. Let's do this. If we're doing it, let's do it. Even when I tell her that, boy, mommy, but this, I might not have this or whatever. She said, okay, let's get it. Let's get it. How we're going to get it?
Very important to have those happy people in your corner.
So my mother has been that one person that has always been pushing me. My aunt, Lorraine, terms of faith, she will always say, let's talk a little bit about the word. Let's realign with let's
Yeah, that's
realign
important.
with the word. So whenever I am doubting, those are definitely my two go-to. Of course, I have others that I will talk to, but my circle, my family, my friends, carefully selected, and if it's not that I'm not friends with others, I am, but we're just not as close, and you
And
won't
there's nothing,
exactly
there's nothing wrong
you
with
won't
that.
be able to step into my space to impact
Yeah. Yeah.
my path. You won't be able to throw me
And that's
off.
important. That boundary
Yes.
setting is very important. Protecting your
Exactly.
space, protecting your peace, especially as it pertains to nurturing your faith. That is very, very, very important. So that word
Exactly.
unapologetic
There we go.
is very important in that space. How are you setting intentions, especially as an entrepreneur? How are you setting intentions?
Huh. Well, I mean, again, it's looking at what I want to achieve, where I want to be, and then what I believe is my purpose, my God-given calling, and then I use that to guide how I write it. And as we spoke about before, life gives me cues. It's really God just saying,
Yes.
listen, you're in the wrong place. Get
Yes,
back over
get
here.
here. So yeah.
Right. So using those cues, using what I believe to be the truth, in terms of how we should live, that is what I use to then set my intentions. Where my path should end. What I should be achieving every step of the way.
Yeah.
And when I say achieve, I don't mean achieve in terms of get a car or a house. Again, to remind people, achievement for me, it's impact on lives.
Impact on life.
It's impact on
Achievement
lives.
is impact on lives. I was
Yeah.
closing my eyes there again because I felt that. Sabrina, are you chasing your purpose, or have you found your purpose?
I believe I'm still chasing.
Yeah.
I'm still chasing. I don't know that this is it. It could be.
It could be.
But-
And it's fine. Wherever you are right
Yeah,
now, it's fine.
exactly.
You are right where you are supposed to be. It's where
Right.
God wants you to be.
Exactly. And that is what I've accepted, that where God wants me to be is where I'll be once I trust Him. And so, therefore, I mean, even if it's not much greater than this, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I've accepted that.
Yeah.
But I've also accepted that if He's calling me to be the greater, I'm preparing for that journey. And everything that I've gone through, negative, positive, I believe has prepared me to this
Oh
point.
yeah, without a
To
doubt.
be
Without
where
a doubt.
I need to be.
And Lord, I'm so excited because the porridge shop. We're going to talk about the porridge shop. We talked about it earlier, but the porridge shop. You have taken on an initiative as it pertains to giving back and philanthropy called Porridge with Purpose. Talk to us about that.
So, backstory to Porridge with Purpose. 2 years ago, I had received a flyer, like many people, because it was circulating. And I received it from a friend, Kim Nain. And she said, boy, this little girl, she's a friend of mine's daughter, and she has cancer, and we're trying to help her, so we need to raise some funds, etc. And I said, okay, no problem, what do I do? She said, you can donate, etc. Went ahead and I donated. And, I mean, it really was just, at the time, it was in the time when my friend was diagnosed with cancer as well. So I didn't have time or the capacity to deal with anything else other than, I'll just donate. And I moved on. Fast forward to 2021, starting Porridge Shop, and I normally hang out on a Friday night with a circle of persons that I'm kind of close to. And there's this one girl that wasn't somebody that I always see. She was more recent to the group for me. And she's always there. I remember one day I had my iPad on the table, and I went to the restroom, and when I came back, she said to me, this was our first interaction, she's like, you almost gave me a heart attack. I was like, why? She's like, your iPad fell. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh my God, it's broken. And I was like, oh, okay, no. And she's like, don't do that again. So anytime I go anywhere, she's always protective of my stuff. Or
This is someone that you did not know.
I didn't really know her. And she's always asking, persons, and attentive to people, like, are you drinking, what are you having, etc. Watching the tables, etc. And I always thought that, what, this girl is so nice, so nice. She always chirpy, always cheery, very bright and joyful. So after a night out, again, an evening out, the next morning, it was a Sunday morning, and I got up and I was looking through some Instagram stories. Funny enough, I hardly read stories, whether WhatsApp or Instagram. I don't watch them. But I got up and I was going through it because the day before it was a friend's birthday, and I was like, what did I miss in the event? So let me just see what happened from different person's perspective.
Yeah.
And what I saw in one of our friends' stories was the Gleaner article with Shaniel Simpson. Now, to be honest, I didn't even know that her full name is Shaniel Simpson. So when I saw the Shaniel Simpson, I'm like, oh, what's this? And then I saw her face, because it was like a video. I was like, oh, hold on, who's this? And I saw the little girl in her lap, and I'm like, I know this little girl from somewhere. So when I decided to watch it, I I just started crying, and I was just crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? You're just crying. Why are you crying? But then I realized that the story of Nyla Simpson, 5-year-old, about to be 6, and she's struggling with cancer. She was diagnosed in September 2019, and she had done a year of chemotherapy. After which they had put her on break because of the pandemic coming in, and I'm supposing they thought she was well enough to sustain.
I didn't know
over
that's
a
a thing.
period.
You could put someone on break from chemo.
Well, it depends. If their body is reacting well, I'm guessing, no, this is me guessing, I'm not a doctor, medical professional. But I'm guessing that's what they use to decide that maybe we can suspend her and move to persons who needed more urgent care with the pandemic happening. So she was on break for a while, and then earlier this year, her mom went in to do the regular checks, etc., and they realized that the cancer was now spread to her lungs. She started with Wilms tumor, which is in the kidney, and then when they went, it was now in the lung.
And what age is she?
She is 5, going on to 6 in another 2 weeks. And what struck me with the whole lung thing, when she said lung, I think that's when my tears was just like, because my best friend, same September 2019, was diagnosed with lung cancer. And after diagnosis, she passed away just 2 months later, November 2019. So her anniversary of passing just passed.
Yeah.
But that is what I think triggered the tears. And then I'm saying, this is a 5-year-old that is struggling with this. No, I saw firsthand how emotionally taxing, how stressful it is. I don't know the physical pain level, but it looked extremely painful. And then even from the mom's side, the emotional stress again, the financial burden, all of that, it all just came to me that this girl that I see out with us, who is so joyful, so giving, supportive, and that's just in a space of just socially hanging. It's not day-to-day living. Like, I can now imagine, I'm a stranger more or less to her, and she was so protective of my belongings. And I'm saying this cannot be the case. Wow. Like, this it's not possible. And moreover, it annoyed me a little bit that I didn't know. I mean, it's not to blame myself or anything like that. It really was just how do we not know? How do we not know that she's going through this and she needs help? Yeah. Because there's no doubt in my mind that she needs help.
And you know though, it's not, there's no blame to be laid, because those Fridays that you saw her, you were just her being in you guys' presence was helping her You know, just mentally. That I'm sure that was an outlet for her. That was a release for her.
Yep.
You know, and it sounds like she is
Yep.
someone that is, you know, innately born with being a protector and
Yes.
being that person. But
Yes.
that those nights that protected that iPad, that was she was releasing.
Yep.
You guys were her rock and
Yep.
probably continue to be.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly it for her when I spoke to her. Because I said, no, I need to get her number.
Yeah.
I need to call. Like, I was trying to figure out who to call because this was like 6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And I'm like, who do I call now at 6:30? Like, who's awake? I don't know. So one of my really, really good friends, Sila, I called her up because I'm like, the only other person who will be up like me would be her. I'm like, Sila, have you seen this? And she's like, oh, yes, I saw it. And I'm like, we need to do something. What do I do? Do you have her number? Who can we reach out to? Etc. And so that day, I tasked myself, like I had my friend on the phone for maybe three hours saying, no, what are we going to do? We have to figure out something. What do we do?
That's service. That's adding value.
And I, looking at everything that I have where I am, whether it be my day job, having the porridge shop, or at first it came to me because, like I said, my first philanthropic experience or journey or endeavor, right, was wind down for charity. So I'm saying, can we do another wind down? And, Ceda's like, well, maybe, let's think about it. And I'm like, well, we need something that is a little bit quicker, a little bit easier for people to give because it really is hard to get people to give.
I can't even imagine.
It is a struggle when you say to people, let's do this for charity, let's get behind this, people need your support, let's do it this way. People really find it hard to give. But then it's like a light bulb when you're like, oh, but if people are buying porridge, and I have really great partners in terms of the porridge. So, I have or suppliers like Separate, etc., who would give the stuff that's needed. How about if we're selling that porridge and it's just
and tying it to
all the money
it
goes back to her?
Wow, and that's how Porridge with Purpose.
And that's how Porridge with Purpose came up because they're like, what do we call this? How do we do
Yes.
this now? Like, how do we get people to buy into it? And we just ironed it out because my friend is a marketer as well. So we're just like, let's figure this out today. Got on the phone, even my designer, and said, listen, even got photos. I didn't even have permission to use the photo. But we're like, listen, I don't want to go to Shaniel with just a half thought through plan. So I built out everything, and then I called her and I said, I am seeing your story. I'm not only seeing your story, but I feel like I understand what you're going through.
Right.
Because my best friend too, I was very protective of her, always. And I sat with her because most of the time her mom wasn't there for the initial part. She wanted to hide a little bit to say, let's see if we can get through this because I don't know if mommy can handle it. So myself and our friend Daniel had to sit and be, the nurturers and be there for her and ensure that she got what she needed. So I said to Shaniel, I feel like I know
what you're going through.
Wow. I didn't love that at all. I can't even imagine being the actual parent of somebody that's going through that. Because I have a daughter myself. I don't think I could process any at all if my daughter was going through that. And so I hats off to her because to me, she seems so strong. I don't know what she's really going through inside, but she actually is out. She's there standing up for her child at the hospital. She is making sure that she meets everything that is needed. She's doing what is necessary. She wasn't able to keep a full-time job because, as you can imagine, you can't drop off a 5-year-old and say, okay, go in for your treatment later. Let me come back. So she has to be there. And so, of course, that her financial independence had to suffer for that. So, of course, I'm like, listen.
You jumped in.
We want to see how we can help you.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you're going to feel about it. Yeah. And then she's just like, oh, my God, you're going to make my ball. I walk around and act like I'm tough, but I'm not. And I'm like, girl, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, if you need to cry, cry.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to cry in front of people either, but You know, I did it behind the scenes. So if you have to, do it. But that's how Porridge with Purpose was born. We decided that every cup of, or we didn't just want to go with a regular cornmeal and be like, oh, every cup of cornmeal goes to her. You know, we wanted to make the color of the ribbon, which is an orangey color. So we decided to pull the nutrients of sorrel and beetroot, and that added the color to the cornmeal, which is kind of orange, yellow.
Yellow, yeah.
And so it gave that orangey look, looking like the ribbon. And so, you know, we're like, listen, person's coming in and we're like, we have the sorrel beetroot cornmeal porridge. And they're like, no, that's not a porridge. And I'm like, let's just try it. You know, we're taking out spoons and say, let's try it. And then people are like, yeah, but this is like cornmeal. It's really good. You know, with a little earthiness of the beetroot, but it's good. And we made believers out of people. People are now buying 3 cups, 4 cups, 5 cups, you know. The massive size, you know. People are even mixing it up. People are like, give me a little of the peanut with the sorrel beetroot hominy, sorrel beetroot cornmeal, or a little hominy with it. So people are now mixing it up to ensure that they give to her. And in addition to that, there are some who really, really refuse not to, but they do come and stop by and say, hey, you know, here is some cash that you can give to her. So we do collect cash on her behalf. We're kind of pushing away from that, but, you know, we do take it if that's the way that you're able to.
How can persons donate?
Right, so the options are, apart from buying the porridge or dropping off the cash to us, they are able to go to transfer the funds to Shaniel Simpson. We have the information on our page as well as Nyla's page. Her page is at Nyla Wins. It's NYLAWINS. So they're able to go there and do that. She has many other options like Cash App. So for persons who are living overseas, they're able to give as well. So the options are all listed there. In addition, Nyla's birthday is coming up, and she has a wish list on Amazon. She's like,
I'm sure.
Oh my God, I love these things. So if persons want to donate a gift for her birthday, we'd truly appreciate it. All our times are limited here, and we don't know what kind of time she will have. And so right now, our focus is ensuring that she gets her roses now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
That she feels good.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
She enjoys life. The little that she's able to see and understand, we ensure that she enjoys it. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Wow.
It's quite tough. I mean, the biggest thing for me, the most heart-wrenching part for me was when her mom, I was talking to her mom, and she says, I was talking to Nyla's mom, and she would say, you know, I'm talking to Nyla, and she's questioning, why am I here if I have to suffer? You know, is it that God is preparing me to die? And that's the biggest thing for me, for a 5-year-old to be questioning her life without even understanding what life is just yet. It's heart-wrenching, to say the least.
It is heart-wrenching to hear the entire story. When we heard it, you know, it was something that we wanted to highlight here at the Bridge and at RA Jam Radio. It don't want to get caught up or cry or anything, but kudos to you. Thank you for being of service, of giving, recognizing that, you know, someone like Shaniel, I think you said his mommy's name, needed that compassion, that needed that empathy, that needed that understanding. You know, and thank you for being, you know, being that giving person. There's not a lot of people out there. Somebody would have just said, yeah, man, let me just donate that thing. But you went the extra mile, and the world needs more of that. You know, on today, Thanksgiving Day, we are giving thanks for you. We are giving thanks for Nyla, who is going to beat this in Jesus' name. Amen. Please keep us posted, however we can get the word out. Here in Jamaica on the Bridge and in New York, tri-state area on RA Jam Radio, we will do our very best, our very, very best. Our prayers are with Nyla and Nyla's mommy and with you and the Porridge Shop. Thank you so much for being a light. Thank you for, just thank you. All right. This is our holiday season. We are up full as much as we are, you know, we're bit emotional here on set. We are up for, we're giving thanks today. We just, again, want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone out there who is giving back, who's of service, who's adding value to people's lives like Sabrina is. Is it that we're jumping to a commercial break or we do epic intention cards? All right, so what we're doing right now. All right, so now it is time for our epic intention cards. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this segment. These cards speak of intention. They give us daily intentions. The ideator and creator Stacey Hines. Again, this is a great gift as we're in a holiday season. You can get these on Amazon. They are called Epic Intention cards. You, my dear, are going to shuffle up the deck and let's see what intention you pulled today.
Oh, wow. I think that should be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pull from anywhere.
Anywhere?
Anywhere on the
Okay.
deck. Anywhere.
So let's go here.
Right. No, you keep
I
yours.
read it?
Yes.
Okay.
I will shuffle up really quickly. I am not a card shark. I'll just pull right from the top. All right, you go ahead and read.
Oh, wow. God is really good, eh?
I'm telling you.
I am filled with the goodness of life. I deliberately focus on serving and observing my needs so that I am overflowing with abundance, enabling me to serve others.
Look, again, guys, these are great gifts. I'm going to read this. It reads, I am grateful. I feel an uplifting sense of gratitude for everyone and everything that is a part of my life experience. That's it. That is it. We are grateful here. We may be filled with emotion because of the current situation, but we are grateful and we are here with purpose. Thank you so much again, Sabrina, for joining us. And for somebody who likes to say, I'm behind the scenes, you're sure your story needs to be shared. Someone I can promise you is being nurtured and will be filled from it. So thank you, my dear, and continue. We are hold it against you like how you never carrying a porridge, but we will.
I do owe you guys porridge.
We will come and support the porridge shop for sure.
Thank you.
All right, remember, guys, it is we're in the holiday season. We do our purpose picks each week until Christmas. We will be doing a few giveaways on the show with our purpose picks. And this week is none other than the porridge shop. I'm sorry, my tri-staters, my New Yorkers, my RA Jam fam. This one is not really for you. This is for my Kingstonians, my Jamaicans. Again, the porridge shop has gifted us with a gift card. So please don't just use the gift card, or go there and support Porridge with Purpose. So all you have to do to win this purpose pick for this week, which is the gift certificate from Porridge Shop, answer this simple question. Give us a call in studio. Answer this simple question. How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish? I think that's pretty easy, guys. Okay? How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish? Give us a call and it's all yours. All right, we thank you again tonight. I was going to say Merry Christmas, but I'm skipping. It's actually Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I am grateful for each and every one of you. Again, love, light, and purpose.